Welcome to the second series of the L&L Podcast, Diaries of Strong Black Women.
In this series, we'll be unpacking everything that has to do with your career and your workplace wellness. With that being said, let the journey begin. So we back.
We back. Oh my gosh, why are we wearing the same colors? I know it's weird to believe that we actually didn't plan to wear the same colors because it's been recording.
It's fate. It's fate.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It's a yellow day.
It is a yellow day. Guys, welcome back. We are back. Our first podcast for 2021. We are excited. We are happy. We are over the love issues. Some found love, some found healing. But we are excited for you guys to, go on this journey with us on this new series, which is the Career Series.
And I mean, despite everything that's going on in the world, the pandemic, we hope that you all have been having a beautiful time in your lives, and we hope that you have all been growing one way or another. Like she said, some of us have found love, some of us have healed. We don't know who, but yeah.
So yeah, I think you can put the glows, but
anyway, let's get this started, darling. Let the career begin. What are we talking about today?
So, I mean, obviously, because it's a new series, like the first one, we decided to introduce it ourselves and tell our journeys and our experiences and our stories. And then, I mean, obviously, going along in the other episodes, we will then have people from different, fields, different practices, people that can actually share and give us like some thought leadership on the conversations that we'll be having, the different topics that we'll be having. Yeah. But today we just it's like we catching up and we just like unpacking our career journeys, like from not inception, but from when we knew what we wanted to do to where we are, the challenges, how we overcame that, and just so that once we start, unpacking the other topics, it shouldn't come across as if, our story and we'd want to hear other people's stories, and you guys' feedback, your comments and whatnot can also help us steer this conversation, this series for season 2. Series 2. Yeah. That is season.
Hey, when Netflix. But anyway, yeah. So I think let's get it going, friend. Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
You can start. When you grew up, when the minute you knew that you could have a job, or you knew that after school you needed to be something, or even during school, what did you think you were gonna be? Like, what did you want to do?
If I had to be 100% honest, I wanted to be a musician. My mom says when I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a vet.
No, but friend, you wanted to be a musician, God. I
wanted to sing. Actually, I honestly felt that one day I was going to be like Beyonce or something. Like, that was my childhood dream. Yeah. And then high school I used to sing. Primary school I used to sing. And then it just faded out. And then I think it was a teacher I think it was one of my teachers in English who pointed it out that I was such a good writer. And I was just like, yeah, I know. And then, you know what I mean? But that's where my passion for writing came out. And my uncle has always been a journalist throughout my life. And I also looked at him and I was like, oh, one day, if I'm not a singer, that's what I'd want to do. And so I think that's what brought in my whole journalism career, that brought it all together. And that's where that started. And thanks to him, my career started. And I mean, I worked a lot of other jobs that were very pointless to what I wanted to do. But then with perseverance, I guess I got the job that I wanted and became a journalist.
So what are those jobs? What are those jobs that you didn't, the useless ones, the ones you deem useless?
The ones that I was just doing for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I was an au pair. I used to look after some lovely kids. They were so fun. I used to
What
be
were you operating in? Is it like you,
yes,
girl? Okay.
yes, doll. And then I was an au pair, and then the lady who I was looking after her children, she had her own business, and then she ended up hiring me in her business because she was just like, "Do you really just want to look after my kids?" And I was like, "Not really, but like, just for the cash, like, yeah." And then
Yeah.
she's like, "Nah,
Mm.
we'll get somebody else for the kids. You come work in my business." And then I was helping her with sales for her company. She used to provide some products for a well-known beauty brand, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was helping her in the sales department for that. And then I also did sales for Virgin Active. I did,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Funny enough, I've done a lot of sales. I think it's because I've naturally always been able to talk to people. So I always fell into sales. I did it well, got the money from it, but I still felt like there was something missing. I was like, this is not what I want to do. Like, yes, I can do it, but I don't want to do it.
But I think what I picked up also, it's because often we usually have this idea of what we want to be, right? Or what we want to do. We look at the final product of what it is, but never the characteristics of what that takes for you to be what that is, right?
Yeah.
So for example, you wanted to be a performer, you wanted to be an artist, a musician rather, you wanted to be and then you fell in love with writing and communication.
Yeah.
But all of those things are one thing. It's just not labeled different, but they do the different things, but are the same thing. You are communicating. You're communicating via vocal, music, sound, or you are communicating by writing. But we often don't, and even like sales, you get what I mean? So we always look at the type of job it is as opposed to the characteristics of what it is that we want to do. And sometimes it doesn't at that moment look like what we want it to be like. So speaking of which, girl, my journey, I think about it sometimes. I'll be like, yeah, yeah. Okay, guys, I'm scratching my nose. I'm not jerezing. I know I said jereza and then
no, but when are you like the harassment god? Like,
well, yeah. I think about it like started in like when I was still in high school, and remember, I'm from Limpopo, like from the village, like, and I was in hostel, so it was hard for me to have access to all of these things. So I actually finally, I don't know how I did it, but like all of those things. I used to rap. I used to think I was a rapper. I used to perform, like dance, and that time, guys, I can't even dance. But
I've
like
never
I said,
seen you dancing.
I can't. I'm always the one sitting there watching you guys break glasses. I'm like, yeah. Dancing, never. But everybody was always telling me that, like, Lingo, when are you gonna be a musician? When are you gonna be like on TV? I wanted to be a presenter, like, TV presenting. And then fast forward, went to Tshwane University of Technology, TUT, and then I joined the radio station there. So I did radio there, and then the manager the artistic plug. I'm like, I'm not gonna name drop, but they are there. Oh, motherfuckers, I fucking plugged you. Anyway, but because obviously I'm studying, I had to switch to focus more on my studies. So I had to do experiential learning for me to graduate, and that caused me to work at Soccer City, AFCON stuff. Fast forward, the contract ended. I graduated. I was jobless. I worked at a weird college. I was just trying to put my hands here and there. I worked at DHL. I was a caretaker, guys.
I think that's the thing, is that we've all had to end up doing jobs that you don't want, especially when you finish school, because of the whole, you finish varsity, you finish college, but it's not all roses where you get the job that you want. I mean, I did radio. I always wanted to be on radio as well, but I just never pushed it. But I did radio, and I thought, right after I'm done with this, I'm gonna be on my favorite radio station. Where, son? Where? You know what I'm saying? So it's still that thing where you need to understand that after your schooling career, there's still a lot of hard work that needs to go into getting into that career that you want, and actually finding yourself and
Exactly.
realizing, is this really what I want to do? Because some people study something that they don't end up doing. I mean, I know a lot of people. I mean, my mom wanted studied basically medicine, but she's not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm, mm,
there's many
mm.
people who did study to be a CA. Now they're in something totally different. Where's all that chartered accountant vibes? Nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying?
And also, and for me, one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I'm totally in agreement with what you're saying. One of the biggest things that I've learned is that after I actually left the events industry, because I studied events management. I never really proudly say what I studied, because it was like, I studied events management, but my major was communication and marketing. But one thing, obviously, when things like legit, I decided to leave. I said, I'm done. Not having a plan. I said, if I'm done, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm done. Like legit, I just like quit. And I quit. And then after that, out of the blue, that's why I actually met our friend Lisedi. I decided to go to a digital boot camp called Digify. And I'm telling you, like most of the marketers that I know now, most of them are coming from that program, and we were the first ones. We were, we didn't know what was going on, but we just knew that we wanted to be in this industry, like we wanted to be in this digital stuff. What we thought we knew when we got there was definitely not what it was.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning of rerouting and restarting my career. But the biggest thing in that, and it's what I said earlier on, is that as I started doing what I was doing, like you, I wanted to be on radio. I still do, but like, why do you want to be on radio? I want to communicate, help, guide. We're having a podcast. It's a platform. I'm using my voice, voiceovers, etc. But then now, what was not funny was like, I really like the fact that when you look at the characteristics, English, the things that look like what it is that you want to do, that mirror what you want to do, and not exactly that I want to be a model. Or then you end up doing fashion. You start dressing people, start working the beauty industry,
like
but you're not a model. But look beyond that. You're in that space. Like I always pinch myself. I'd be like, I ideated to be where I am right now. In the industry, in the space that I'm in right now. The time I was in it, I don't think it was the time I had to be in it. The abilities that I have now, I wanted to be in front, but it's that the front and who I am. Yeah. Now I realize I shine more at the back. I shine more on like setting the stuff up. But it's just understanding who you are, what you want, and being resilient. And yes, money is everything. But you can get money anytime, anywhere, as long as you put your thing in it. But your life, you can't get it. You can't get you everywhere. YOLO, you only live once. Your time is not guaranteed.
I think it's like, so when we started talking about the career thing, we did mention that one thing people need to realize is that you can always get into the career that you want or whatever. But like you said, money isn't everything. Sometimes you need to look into your passions and realize that
it's nice though. It's nice.
It's nice. No one's lying about that. I mean, when you're balling out of control, look, that's yeah. But sometimes you look at the fact that maybe you're following your friends. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you realize that I wanted to be a lawyer because all the chicks that I used to chill with were lawyers. And that's how I ended up being a lawyer. Do I really want to be a lawyer? You know what I'm saying? Or that same thing where I heard that lawyers get paid 50K a month or like 50K a week. So that's what I want to do. And when you're finally in it, you're like super unhappy. And then what? You know what I'm saying? So it all boils down to knowing yourself and following what your passion is and doing it in a way that you'll get that 50,000 a month. Because I do think if you follow your passion, you can make the figures that you would get in the so-called ideal job that you wanted.
It starts with you.
It starts with
You have the
because
power and the
you will
ability
do it.
to get
Yes,
what
you will
you
do it
need.
very
Mm.
well. You'll do it so
Mm.
well that you'll get the rewards for it. You don't have to be a CA in order to get 50K a month. If when you like washing dishes, you can find a way that I'm gonna wash dishes so
Make
different.
money out of washing dishes.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
you're not
do it
washing the
my
dishes.
way. Yeah.
Maybe you're creating a service,
Yeah.
creating an idea that but it's in what you like. And you know, it reminds me of what my current boss, who was not my boss when we were talking about this years ago.
Yeah.
And he told me, like, Lingo, you need to learn how to take your passion and your skills and make them work for you. And that's when you start living.
Yeah.
Now you feel like you're not working, but you're taking your passion and your skills. But now the tricky thing is that as much as we are saying it and it sounds like it's easy and it's nice, it is not. Passion-driven work, passion-driven journeys are not they're the hardest. Toughest. That's like you will even end up asking yourself, why me? But why not you? Why not you?
Because
why not you?
I think they're harder because they test you emotionally. They test you on different angles. It's not as simple as just applying for a job or whatever. Now you're working with something that you know that I'm talented at this, but now you start questioning yourself if you don't do it as good as what you thought, and then it's like, what's going on? And it's up to you then. Yeah.
And then your externals, your friends, your family, your friends are thriving, your family is doing this.
And you're looking at that time, Mina, like this, but nothing's happening. Do I continue? You know?
And then we go back, we're miserable, we blame God. Why are things not happening for me?
You know what I'm saying? You crying every day. It sucks at the office. It's whatever. Follow your heart. As hard as it sounds, but I think we've all got something that deep down we want to do. It's just about exerting yourself and doing it the way it needs to be done and the way you know it should be done.
And like nothing, like you need to work at it though. Do you get what I mean? You need to, it's so liberating to find that this is it. This is what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
Right? And you can find this in different ways. Some through traditional spiritual guidance, some through prayer, some through meditation. But mainly the overall of this is that being one with self. Being one with yourself, understanding that everything of yours is aligned and is in the same way. However you choose to connect. The answers and everything that you need and seeking to get to where you need to be are around you. We just need to work harder. We need to look deeper into ourselves. We need to trust ourselves.
And I think especially during this time, I mean, when you look at how many people are losing their jobs and you know, I think that's one good thing about the pandemic, that it's like people are losing their jobs, but at the same time, it's forcing people to think out of the box. You know what I'm saying? You lose your job. You were working at an agency or whatever. You lose your job because they're downscaling. You're the chosen one that they decide that, no, you're getting retrenched. But deep down, you always wanted to start a business or something.
Now, you always had this.
Yes, you always had this thing. Now, because you've been retrenched, you're forced that, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. Maybe why were you the one who was chosen out of 50 people to get retrenched? Maybe it's time that you do what you want to do and do it properly, because you know that right now your life depends on it. So, yeah, you got to make it.
And that's why I always think that, you know, I mean, God works in very mysterious ways. He will always sometimes take you in to a dark place.
To make you uncomfortable.
You need to feel uncomfortable. And then you then start thinking that comfortability is maybe your salary. Maybe it's your colleague. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's the work. Like you start looking for externals to be the uncomfortable reasons. And it's because it's not aligned with the journey and dilo tsa gago ga di tsamaye ga botse, and wa botsisha gore gantsi dilo tsa ka di tsamaye ga botse. Now I'm done trying. Are you trying the right thing, the right way, the right place?
Is that
or are
what
you
it's
just
meant
trying?
to be?
You know, it's tricky, but it's not easy. I mean, I'm going through you know, that process of, and I'm like I said, I've identified that where I am is where I need to be, and I'm glad it didn't take now to happen. It took years, like 11 years. You know, all that writing for Hype magazine, running SA Hip Hop Mag before Slicker on Live was actually Slicker on Live. I'm not hating, love my place, but funny enough, we actually wanted to work with him when we were doing our thing. I used to do events. I used to guys manage artists, plug all these artists, help. Yeah. But the biggest thing is that I was once a caretaker at a stadium in Soweto as a graduate, with what I've done, everything. And like, so I like, there's a lot of things that had to wake me up and focus on me. I was one of the chosen ones to be retrenched at this other company, out of 3 months in, but no girl. And that's, I was like, how? Sway?
What did I do?
But January became January. It was not a worry for me because it was part of the journey, and the time for me to let go of that place also happened. So it's always just good to be, but it doesn't come easy. It doesn't. It's not. Meditate, pray, see some purple, incense, whatever. Do what you gotta do to connect.
I mean, we all go through that. I mean, right now with me, I mean, well, mine is a bit different because I mean, I really kind of left my job because of, you know, my whole situation with my dad, and I was lost at the time. After that situation, I was just like, oh my God, what's going on? And then that's why I moved to Europe. And I was just like, you know what? I need to remove myself. Let me go and study, you know. But I knew, I was like, you know what? Let me just go do my honors and clear my mind somewhere else. Because everyone's always like, you do realize you could have done your honors at like Wits or at like UJ or something. I'm like, yeah, I could have. But I needed a fresh start. Like I needed to go where nobody knows me. I'm just one man, one vision. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, it did force me to think about stuff that I never thought about before, especially with my career, because now I'm like, I'm doing this honors. What happens after? And that's where I'm at right now, where I'm just like, I'm finishing on the 21st of May. I get my degree. Okay, well, I finished my degree, graduate in November. But I'm just like, what happens after? I'm now at that point where I'm finding the deepest side of things, you know, that like, what was the whole aim of this? Why did I do this? Because besides the fact that I was in pain at the time when I went on this journey, but now I've left the pain part of it, and now I'm in the growing part of it. I've learned so much. What am I going to do with what I've learned? What's going to happen now? I need to now figure out, do I do what I always used to do? Apply for jobs, get a job and just move on, or follow my passion? You know, I'm trying to now figure that out. That do I, like we're saying, it's not as easy as it sounds, but do I follow my passion, or do I just apply for a job and just fall into a puddle of people who are all just working for a company? So it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm also on a career, what is it? Career wusa, career finding myself or whatever. Yeah.
But you know what's powerful is that you're aware of which phase you are in.
Yes,
you're aware of
100%.
Any choice you make. And also for me, it's like I'm not against people working, you know, to survive and to live and whatnot, because we all have different responsibilities, different background, different things we need to do and whatnot. And for me, I'm okay. Like I support that completely. But my biggest thing is that if you have passion and you are passionate and you this thing, that's fire just keeps burning, and you're always unhappy where you're working. Listen to that fire. That fire wants to burst out. That fire, you are the light. That fire needs to go out. It can't contain fire. You can't. You need to let it out. You need to let it out. You need to let it out. But now, how do I let it out? Let it out to where? To do what? And that's where you are right now. Then now it's time for you to connect. Connect with your inner self. Connect with your gods. Connect. The answers are right there. You'll be able to see the things that you can't see in Jane now. And it's the little things that we miss it because we are too worried and focused about the next and not looking at the now and what's in front of us.
There's nothing. There was a book that I was reading. It was called The Power of Now, where you need to be present in the current moment. The past is gone. You're never going to go back there. So forget that. You're in the now. The future is still coming. So you can't really plan for that. So where are you? You're in the now. You're in the current.
You know, when you're speaking like this, like I was watching this video recently about some meditation video. And they were talking about like, why do we fear something that hasn't happened?
Yeah, you fear something that you don't know.
What hasn't happened can happen. But now you create that in your mind. So what do you want to happen? You want to be fun? You want to be there? Write your vision down, sharp, cool. That's where you're going. What are you doing now? When you're in that now, what are you doing about it? Because the future, you start what you want in the future. And like you said, the power of living now. Live in the now. You'll be able to see, get the tools. Be present. You want to build a house, you don't have tools. You like, I don't have cement, I don't have thingy, but you don't need all of those things at once. Exactly. And sometimes you don't need all of those things at once. Maybe your neighbor has a lechepe. You can go and, what's a lechepe in English?
Hey, I don't know.
But what's a lechepe king? You know what you call it when you go to the city girls. Sorry. You excuse my friend. But you go and get, okay, let's say a spade that you know, right?
Yeah.
Or you get that, and then tomorrow you'll probably get someone. Oh shit! Sorry, you've got sand. Can I borrow some of that? Oh,
small by small.
But you are living in the now. You're doing something about what you want now.
Yeah.
But like we said, it's not that easy. As much as we are all fueled up, but it's being aware is really thing.
Yeah, and
guys.
And that's why for this series, that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be speaking to other people who are either going through hardships in their careers, or who are happy in their careers, or who are also going through a journey of finding themselves in their careers. And that's the whole point of this series, to build each other up in terms of our careers, being happy at work, and just making it work. You know how they say, work hard, play hard, but you can also work smart, So yeah.
I'm actually the working smart one. Working hard is good, everything. Working smart.
Work smart. You don't have to work like a slave. You can work smart and everything just moves easy. But you get it all done.
Yeah. So I really hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I mean, really, it was just us unpacking, unraveling our journey and our experiences and how we think, what we think, where we are right now. Obviously, it wouldn't be nice for us to start going into a topic where we can't even share our thoughts and what we think of it and what sparked us to actually discuss this,
Yeah.
So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do share your comments, subscribe, like, share, and
like we said, we will be bringing you people who are in their careers, people who have gotten out of their careers, people who are just going through that whole career journey, that whole workplace journey, and hopefully it will bring some kind of inspiration to somebody else, you who's watching. And we hope that you learn and you love from everything that we do.
Disclaimer, we are not experts. We are just
those who like to talk.
Black women who are unraveling, and we're glad that you're on this journey. We're not experts. Whatever it is what it is.
Yes. with that said, till next time.